So I'm currently at a gig in Portland shooting the grand opening of this medical clinic. It's a like a body aesthetics, liposuction, plastic surgery based clinic. So cool shooting grand openings like this because it's just like you really get the chance to make a good impression on both a new client and capture a really important day for them. And they have it all done up with a bunch of decorations. Everyone's excited. So got my setup right here. This is what we're doing. Flew in last night and then leave tomorrow morning here in Portland, Oregon. This is what we do, man. This is it. So I just flew from Portland, from the gig in Portland, to Las Vegas, my old house. Staying here with my buddy Zach. He is letting Trinity and I crash here. We're going to see Zach Bryan this weekend. Did the trip straight from Austin to Portland and then had to come straight here because our show is tomorrow. So trying to make it all work. Life balance with business balance, and fortunately with what I do and the flexibility that it usually has, I'm able to make things like this happen. Yes, my shirt's off because it's 109 degrees here. Oh my God. But man, being here really it does bring back a lot of memories for me. I lived here for the past 2 years. I only moved to Austin, Texas 2 months ago. Moved here directly after college and moved in with a band that I met. A band of these guys, and we had a situation going where I wasn't making too much money, but I was getting connections with a lot of, industry people. And I survived, I'll say. I lived here for 2 years, never had to get a job, like a normal job. I continued paying for my own life with my business. But man, not to get all negative, but there was just a couple things about Vegas that just didn't jive with me. And the social life, it's a very bland place. There's no greenery. The only outdoor things to do are like these hikes on rocks that all look the same, in my opinion. Hot takes maybe, but it's really just a very interesting place. The culture here is very snaky as far as just people in general. It's very transactional. If you're talking to somebody, it's like, hey, what can you do for me? And like, what's our trade-off here? If you can't bring value to me, then we're not. Why am I talking to you? There's nothing. There's no casual. In my opinion, there's not really a community here, right? There's small bits of community, but the city as a whole is not united from what I've witnessed in 2 years, especially like compared to Austin. Are you kidding me? So it was a hard place for me to enjoy my life and thus be in the right headspace to give my best, effort to my business. And so I took so many lessons from here. I took lessons on dealing with people that did not have my best interest in mind, that did not care about my business, that didn't care about me, and only cared. It was handfuls of experiences and that I took and now apply to my life and my business in Austin and beyond. So no regrets. And you have to go through these things as a business owner. You have to go through learning lessons where you learn to identify, okay, is this working or is this not? What about it is not working and how can I fix it? And a lot of that has to do with life, like your own life, because us as entrepreneurs, they blend. Business and our life, they blend, whether you like it or not, right? So I'm grateful to be back and just here for vacation, get to see it from a different light, and it makes me even more stoked to get back to Austin and keep working. Okay, I feel like every time I pick this up, which I've been doing an awful job at, a lot has happened. First off, plant, it's fake. New light, not fake. Overpriced from Target, but not fake. I guess I'll talk about this for a second. So this is my studio here at my house. It's an ADU, so external from the rest of our house, which is really nice. Really blessed to have this space for myself. And it's really nice. I have this workbench, which I've never had before. I was like, okay, I had this initiative moving in the new house where we're paying all this money for rent. And I'm like, I don't want to have a desk because I want to be able to work anywhere in the house because I've been working off my laptop. A valiant effort and thought, but I've resorted to getting a desk. I'll get to that in a second. But this is a good place to store all my gear. Organize it. We've got all of the equipment lined up. We've got drawers full of stuff. It works out really well. Got storage underneath. It's amazing. Now, I've been working on these chairs over here, these nice leather chairs that I got. Thrifted that one for 40 bucks off the side of the road. Did not thrift those ones, much more expensive. But I caved, I got a desk because I need, first off, something to sit in that's comfortable for extended editing sessions, which has been a pain lately. I've literally hurt my lower back. I'm like recovering right now. I know it sounds like a wimp, but it's been bad. So I'm gonna be putting a desk center right here and then moving all this stuff out a little bit. Anyways, so as I mentioned, started Stoked Studios. It's full bore and got our first client for Stoked Studios as well. And the cool part about this particular gig is that I have approached it from a studio perspective, which in my mind, which that can mean many things, but in particular, I'm not the one shooting this one, which I've never done. I've never had a client come to me looking for a, paid, just regular gig where they need production done. And I've never been the one to not do it, right? But in the effort of scaling and allowing myself to take on bigger projects, more projects, and just scale my business as a whole, the whole point of doing Stoked Studios would be to, in part, hire shooters to go shoot gigs that are either, not ideal for me as far as timing, or just so I can focus on other things. That's a part of growing a business, is delegation. So I'm really excited and a little bit nervous just because it's like, oh my gosh, I have a guy that I met, Chris Gabayan, awesome videographer and photographer here in Austin. Got coffee with him a couple weeks ago. Awesome guy, awesome work. So I called him up, I'm like, hey, here's the budget. Can you do this? And he's like, absolutely. So there you go. This is one step in the journey of just building my business to more than just myself, which is my ultimate goal right now. So very excited about that. And also this coming Friday, have a shoot that I'm actually going to where I'll be shooting for this clothing company. Not gonna mention who they are because I had a meeting with them and then I asked around about them and I've heard some things. I'm not gonna say their name, but I've heard that they don't pay their photographers. Like they just have a history of just not paying people and a history of kind of just being interesting to work with. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't, companies learn, people learn. So I don't like to just shun it right off the bat. I'm excited to go create with them and we'll see what happens. But other than that, gonna be getting the desk here in just a few days. So the next episode will have that on it. And yeah,